BSides. Hey, it's Odd Job, and I'm here at BSides Fort Wayne with the presumptive winner of BSides Fort Wayne CTF. We have yet to go into the actual the stage to see what the scores are, but I want to have a quick chat because as I was seeing them work this last couple minutes, there was a lot of interesting things going on. But I have the captain or person who's going to be speaking with me about the CTF today. What is your name?
I go by TFTP, is my favorite port, but you can call me Samuel Sam.
All right,
Yeah,
awesome.
so I go by TFTP online, yeah.
Awesome. Well, TFTP. So how many CTFs have you done?
I've done quite a few. Almost every cybersecurity conference that I've been to, I always try to do at least some challenges or try to write down what sort of challenges they are, what's the scoring of it, what categories they are. For example, I try to take note on all the challenges, especially the ones that I didn't solve, because eventually someone's gonna post stuff like, write-ups and stuff online. So those
So you keep
are-
like a record of like, oh, here's this challenge I really want to check up on if I can.
Yeah, it's all in sorted out like Google Drive. Yeah.
Got you. Well, that's kind of cool. So like, how far does that go then? How far back? Is this like a 2014, 2015? When was your first CTF?
My first CTF was in 2020, so
Wow, really?
yeah.
Okay, that kind of surprises me because I
Yeah.
know you a little bit and I thought you'd been doing them for just a tad longer. That's kind of cool.
No, okay, so I started my undergrad in 2019, and that was when I started cyber stuff. So I did my undergrad in CS at first, and then I did a few cyber classes, fell in love with cyber. So I really only started getting into cybersecurity in 2020. That's why I only started doing like cyber CTFs in 2020.
Oh, gotcha.
As you would know, the CS CTFs versus the cyber CTFs are like vastly different.
Oh, so that's
Yeah.
like attack and defense versus...
Yeah, the attack
this
defense
stuff.
one versus like the cyber CTFs are more Jeopardy style. Yeah, whereas the other ones are more like
Because you have like categories of challenges
Yes.
and puzzles. It's really more challenge and puzzle based.
yes.
And so kind of speaking of that, what's kind of your favorite category to participate in when you see it at a CTF?
I'm a little biased here. So my favorite category to participate in is any sort of forensics category, just because my
Your degree's in
master's.
forensics,
Yeah, I have my master's in cyber forensics. I have a minor in forensic science, and my PhD is also going to be like forensics related. So that's my favorite category.
Gotta represent.
Kind of because that's my best
Right.
category.
So like then beyond that, what's kind of like what's the next one then? What would be like the other one that you find that you really like then?
For me, I like crypto, so cryptography and password cracking, just because
There you go.
for especially password cracking, a lot of people just don't get all of it, and when you're the only one who can solve a bunch of
Yes.
it, it's pretty good. For stuff like web app exploitation and stuff, I know I'm not as good as a lot of people.
That's where he comes in.
Yeah, that's where. Yeah,
His
that's where he
partner
comes
over
in.
there comes
Yeah.
in very handy.
He's very good at pen testing. He does a lot of pen testing in real life. He does a lot of web app exploit, the burps and stuff. So whenever he's talking about, requests on burp and like processing and stuff, a lot of those, I know in theory what it is because I've learned it, but like I've never really put it into practice, or I have only in the CTF field, but he does it like for a living.
Yeah.
So a lot of those.
So then what's your
struggle with.
so I guess your least favorite category then is web.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Web, any sort of enumeration and exploitation
Oh,
kind of
okay.
thing. Yeah.
Well, that's cool. But what does CTF do for you? So like what's the thing that keeps bringing you back to a CTF?
I'm a very competitive person. So
Okay.
I like competing. I like,
That helps.
because,
You like winning.
yeah, I like winning just because competitions have a set rank
Yeah.
of like who's better, kind of.
Yes.
Or like who's better on that day at least.
Yes,
on that
on
day.
that
at
day.
least. At that specific challenge that
Yes.
was there. And I like doing that. But also because CTFs are just are just fun. You always learn something new. As far as I know, there's no one who walks into a CTF and is like, I know how to do this, I know how to do this, I know how to do every single challenge. I
Right.
don't need to look anything up.
Although there
as
was one
far-
time it was BSides Detroit, I think. There was a guy who literally walked in. It was a 3-day conference. Walked in the last day of the conference, and just sat down for like the last 3 hours of the CTF and just walked through everything. And this guy, Switch, I think was his name back in the day. He's done a lot of CTFs, and he does a lot of web app testing and a lot of different things. So he just went bam, 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 bam. There's just flag, 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 flag. And so I think you kind of maybe underestimate the amount that you probably even know, because there's a lot of things where you go and you're like, okay, I'll try this first. I'll try this first. I'll try this first. You kind of know the things you're going to try first versus someone who's never done it before, right? And so for someone who's never done it before, then what's kind of the way they get started?
For people who haven't done CTS before, I feel like going back to what I did in 2020, right? A lot of it is just Googling. It's just Googling what you know.
It's going to feel rough, right? It's going to feel slow. Like, oh wow, this might the first challenge. I'm trying to get the first flag out of this.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
That's another thing that's nice about CTFs is there's always different levels of challenges, which is like, you know, this challenge is 50 points. This challenge is 250 points, for example. So, you know, obviously the 250 point one is supposed to be harder than the 50 point one. So, you know, as a beginner, you probably are like, okay, I'm trying to get like all the easy ones and maybe a few medium ones. Whereas, you know, a more experienced CTF person would be like, okay, yeah, I'm gonna try to do all the hard ones for this category, and someone else does the easy ones for another category, for example. Yeah, because you want to knock out as much as possible, given the time constraint. So like today's CTF, we had like 6 hours total for the entire thing. Yeah, so it was a
They had like
challenge.
25 or so challenges, right? 20,
Yeah, I
20
think
or
so.
25 or 30,
I think-
somewhere around there.
Around 25 to 30, yeah.
Yeah. And so what's then kind of like the most memorable, or maybe the challenge that you're proudest of solving?
Probably NCL, so the National Cyber League. There was one challenge in particular, which is password cracking. And I remember no one solved any of the I think there were 6 hashes that they gave us.
Oh.
And one team got one of the 6.
Oh.
And our team managed to get all 6 of them, which is pretty crazy.
Nice.
Yeah. So that one, I worked really hard on it. Mia.
Oh yeah, Mia.
Yeah,
Okay.
she worked
Yeah.
with me. I think the challenge was something related to fruit. So like they give you fruit. The hint is fruit, and then obviously it could be numbers of letters in front, any characters in front at the back. It could be anything. But I remember
like
the
peach, watermelon,
the one that was really
eggplant,
hard.
but that's not a fruit.
Is it? I don't know. But you know, they don't give you a specific word, so you have to just go in and iterate as many fruits as you know. But the thing is, we couldn't get the last 2, and then you know, I was like, okay, let's just try.
Kumquat.
Let's just try scientific names. It might be that. And that was it. So it was lead speak scientific names.
Of course.
Yeah, so it's not
Of course, it was lead speak.
yeah, it's not just scientific names, it's lead speak scientific names. Yeah. So
All
that,
the E's are 3s.
yeah, that
Absolutely.
was
$sign for the S.
that was
or
a
5.
very like, oh my god, we actually got this. I think that was the thing that put us in first because everybody else was so behind in the password cracking category, and that's why we won that year.
Well, very cool.
Yeah.
Well, thanks for taking time to share that with me and share it with everybody else. If you're interested in CTFs, I don't know, go look up some write-ups. Also, if you're like web application stuff, I know Try Hack Me and Hack the Box are pretty big out there. And there's probably online CTFs happening all the time. So do some Googling and figuring out what CTFs you could get part of. And of course, your BSides or a local conference near you might be coming up. They may have a CTF to be a part of. So go out there and hack harder.